It's the Eagle Community Television Forum with your host, Gary Shorman.
Hi, I'm Gary Shorman, and this is a forum on Eagle Television. Great to have you watching along as we bring some guests on. We were just talking about that. Bring guests on from around our community that tell some of the great things that are happening, not only here in Hayes, but throughout our Eagle Television footprint. Good to have you watching. The program is brought to you by Hayes Med. Our guest today is Chad Meitner, and he's the principal at TMP-Marian here. And Chad, good to have you on our program again. It's hard to believe another year has gone by.
Yeah, it's May 1st, and we got all the snow behind us, right?
Maybe.
And it flies by every year, and it just seems like it goes faster every year.
Well, I wanted really just to have you on to talk about some of the things that are happening at TMP. Starting off with, I know this, and this program will air a week later, but not too long ago, you had the big ACE auction. First off, why do you have that auction?
Well, as a private Catholic school, we have to fund ourselves in different ways, and one of the ways is to ask people who are alumni and benefactors and parents and all sorts of folks who care if they can come together for a little party and find a way to support the school in the same time. So we do it not only to get together and have some fellowship, but also to financially help support the school, because the more affordable we make it for families who want to send their children to our school, the more families that we can have come to our school. We don't want it to be a school that's just only very few could afford to be at.
Well, one of the things that I'm always impressed with, the number of people and the large group that you have. When you say it's a fun party, it is. It's a great night. Everybody has a lot of fun there. But it's more that massive pour out of support that goes on for TMP.
Yeah, it's inspiring to me, because not very many people get to have their work, their company, their project, whatever it is they're passionate about, and see other people get as passionate about it as well. And so it makes you feel like you're walking with a lot of other people, and it also kind of humbles you too. It's like, I hope I don't mess this up, because there's a lot of people that care about that school and the students there and the history and this community in general. So it's a good feeling, but at the same time, it really steers you in the right direction.
You mentioned that you were smiling all night long over there. What other reasons were there? Because I know there was a good group, and I know there's dollars that people raise to do things, but it is that spirit of camaraderie within the school.
Oh yeah, and it's in my experiences with other schools, it's unmatched. There were over half of the states in the United States had some alumni or supporter donate from a distance. We had over 60 people watching online, and with today's competition for entertainment, Netflix and cable and all the things you can do, we had 60 people that wanted to just watch the auction and be a part of it. They couldn't even bid on items, but they wanted to see how it was going. They wanted to see who was there. They wanted to just be a part of it. Now, maybe they were only watching for 5 or 10 minutes, but at different times throughout the night, to have that many people, 500 in the building, 50, 60 people watching on internet, and different people donating weeks before the auction. It just, that's why I was smiling the whole night.
I thought
fun.
Maybe you had an oil well, because you had a big oil battery tank out front. So did you get an oil well there?
We did not find any oil under Al Billinger Fieldhouse, unfortunately. Yeah, if we found enough oil, we could move the fieldhouse over. And
that would work okay. So anyway, it was good to see. And again, that's just part of the support. I think Hess brought that in. But, it's part of the support of what goes on in the community and people that do that as well. I know at some point there'll be numbers going on, but were there any special projects tied into this year's auction?
Yeah, we had, the item 60, which is our annual itemless item, where we ask folks to identify a need that the school has that can't be accomplished through the ordinary budget, and say, hey, can you help us with this? And this year it was restroom remodel in the main school building, mainly the ladies' rooms. And we like to remind people that the school was originally built as an all-boys school. And when we welcomed the ladies over in 1980 from Marian High, a quick retrofit, basically take out the urinals and now it's a ladies' room, was all that was done. And so they really need to be updated and modernized for our young ladies and our female visitors. And so that's our focus, and we had great support.
Well, you've done that along the line. I know one of the things, you drive by on Hall Street, you see the new parking lot out there. And that was a project that was put together with a lot of volunteer effort, I know, that made that happen. What's the process of that, and where is that in the whole scope of it?
Well, we like to call it time and talent, because obviously people donate and give funds, but we also say that we couldn't run our school without time, people donating their time and donating their talents. And that was a case where we had a lot of supporters who knew how to engineer things, they knew how to plot elevations, they knew how to run heavy machinery. And so we were able to do a lot of that project with folks who were just willing to help out. And it took a lot of their time, and it took a lot of the use of some of their equipment. But yeah, then we got a much cleaner, larger parking spaces for our students, and we've had 0 fender benders this year in that parking lot, whereas you used to have one a week with the old one.
Yeah, it's kind of an old gravel with some posts in the middle of the thing, it seems, if I remember right. So this is a better process. Is there more to go with that? Well,
first we want to get the rest of the dirt moved out. Folks probably have noticed that dirt's been there a while, but again, when you're working with folks who are time and talent, you don't press, because they're doing that out of the kindness of their hearts. And when they're going to move that, and then we'll do some resurfacing to maintain the surface. Because as it gets washed out with the rains, and it's nice to have the rains, but there's some areas that we can strengthen that parking lot and make it even more of a hard surface for the years to come.
Talk a little bit about school in general. We're finishing the year here. How's the school year been? Let's talk academics. We'll take a break and come back and talk about a couple of sports things that are pretty cool that's going on. Academics this year, what's happening at TMP?
Well, first and foremost, we're a school, right? And so we want to focus on getting kids ready for college or their careers when they leave high school. And we've got a great senior class. It's about 44 seniors that'll be graduating, the class of 2017. And they're very busy getting scholarship offers and applying for scholarships and for schools. And so right now there's a lot of that celebrating for them. And then for the other students, it's planning ahead. But strong numbers on the honor roll, and you always like to see students take it serious. And I think when they come into TMP, they know that's what we're there for, is to get serious about learning. And for overall, there's been good attitude. Freshmen, even the 7th and 8th graders, up through the seniors, about making sure they do their studies.
Well, one of the things you go through, and I know every year, at least when I was involved, there was the addition of all the scholarships. Are you all surprised at the number of scholarships out there that the TMP students have a chance? Now, they don't collect on all of them, but they have a chance to participate in a lot of different scholarships.
Yeah, last year's class of 2016 had over $1 million worth of scholarship offers. Now, of course, that's from multiple schools, and you can't accept all of them. But it's amazing, and I've learned a lot from our counselor, Amy Miller, who is a professional at being able to, find those scholarships and help point students in the right direction. And they have to do the work of applying, but to be able to find it's almost an endless variety of options out there. And if you know which school you want to go to, you can even fine-tune it more.
Alumni, I know, is important not only for things like the auction, but continuing education. One of your alumni is Lieutenant Governor Jeff Collier, who happened to be in the building. Why was he running around TMP the other day?
Yeah, well, I think it was April 13th, about a month ago. Him and Jim McNeese, who is the chairman of the Kansas State Board of Education, were in town. They stopped at Hayes High to talk to some students there, and they stopped at TMP-Marian. And what him and Jim McNeese were promoting is a new service award. It's called the Lieutenant Governor's Service Award, and basically it's an attempt for them to recognize and encourage the importance of service. Dr. Collier talked about his experiences at TMP and how having to serve the community helped him. He credited it with being the reason he was as successful as he was, even more so than some of the college experiences or professional experiences, because he learned how to serve others. And that's a huge part of our curriculum. So we were excited to hear an alumni say that to our current students, so that, sometimes you wonder, why am I out here doing service? Why am I volunteering? Well, it's not only to help the people you're helping, but it helps you inside and grow yourself.
Very good. We're going to take a break. We're going to come back, talk about a little bit of a couple honors and the sports side of things, and then also what's taking place, the plans, because I know plans are taking place for next year. Back with more after this.
Hayes Med is your first and best choice for healthcare. They're the only facility providing tertiary level services in this region. With more than 70 physicians and 26 specialties ranging from heart, orthopedic, spine care, cancer, obstetrics and gynecology, wound care, rehabilitation and surgery, including the Da Vinci robotic surgery, Hayes Med is your comprehensive health provider for people throughout Western Kansas. Hayes Med, helping people be healthy.
Are you frustrated with Wi-Fi dead zones in your home? It happens when you don't have Pulse, the cutting-edge Wi-Fi solution from Eagle Communications. A Pulse-certified Eagle technician maps your home, then installs a dual-band modem and router, plus discrete access points to deliver wall-to-wall Wi-Fi with no dead zones. Pulse powers all your family's devices in all the places you love to live. Get Pulse, Wi-Fi made simple, only from Eagle Communications. Call today.
Welcome back to the second half of our forum here on Eagle Television. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions for future programs, let me know. You can find me at gary.shorman@eaglecom.net. You can also go onto Facebook. We'll be your friend on Facebook under ECTV Forum, ECTV Forum. Again, it's good to have you watching. Our program is brought to you by Hayes Med, and our guest is Chad Meitner. Chad is the principal at TMP-Marian. And going into the break, we were talking about that community service that's so important. One of the things that's also important is that, I guess, leadership giving back. And you had a group go to Washington, D.C. this year. What's that all about?
Well, every January we have the March for Life. It's a national event, and there's actually some satellite events in other parts of the country, but in Washington, D.C. is the biggest one. And we've sent students for many, many years, and we sent over 40 students this January again. And it's one of those things that we encourage each student, before you graduate from TMP-Marian, you should go to the March for Life, because not only is it a fun trip with your friends, but it's an opportunity to get involved in governance and the political system, and like we always encourage, getting involved in something is much better than just sitting on the sidelines and watching.
And also being a good sport, because as we transitioned into the break, we talked about some sports things going on. Mm-hmm. There's also a good sportsmanship at the state tournament that was won by the TMP team.
Yes, yeah, we were blessed in a couple ways. The girls basketball team took third place in 3A state, and that's the second year in a row they've taken third place, and so tremendous accomplishment for Coach McFarland and her team. And then we were really proud because on top of that, we were honored with the Sportsmanship Award. And in today's society, I think that's almost as important as anything, because it's so easy to forget sometimes that those are just games, and it's meant for the kids to have experiences to grow and learn. And so when we have good positive fan support on top of the quality product on the floor, we're just tickled pink to have that. So we got a plaque, and the cheerleaders got some medals for the Sportsmanship Award this year too.
Very cool. If somebody wants to find out more about TMP, where do they go? Oh,
well, by and far the best site is to go to TMP-M.org. Jeff Brule, the advancement director, and his team do a great job of keeping up the website with timely information. You know, for a high school, it's updated every day. There's new content, and you can find the latest about academics, sports, all sorts of different things at tmpm-m.org.
Well, that is neat, because one of the things, if you want to buy a TMP shirt or a cap, where do you go to do that? Because I hear you have an online store.
You can go to that same place, tmp-m.org, because the Booster Club has a website linked onto that website, and you can order sweatshirts, hats, t-shirts, scarves. Who knows, you might be able to get a blazer.
A blazer. We needed
like
an umbrella not
blazer.
that long ago, so hey.
You can get an umbrella.
If you don't have your TMP gear, go to the site and pick up something, but also check out all the cool things happening at TMP. I promise to talk about next year, anything big in store for next year.
Well, we are continuing to build a master plan of the whole campus, and what that's going to give us is future item 60s at auctions, or future donors can see what the master plan is, and I think that's going to really springboard us into a lot of great projects, not only exterior physical buildings, but curriculum projects too, because it takes a lot to get a classroom up to speed and the right teachers in there, so that we can have not only a great physical presence with our buildings and our campus, but quality instruction and experiences for the students inside the classroom too. So nothing specific, but there's just a lot of planning going on right now that's going to have some specific end results for us.
Well, I look forward to talking to you next year and comparing notes on how that's going.
We hopefully we'll have something we can visually share with you guys then.
That'd be fun. Chad Meitner is our guest here on the Forum program. Chad is the principal at TMP-Marian. Thanks for watching the Forum. It's brought to you by Hayes Med and by Eagle Communications, our community connected.
It's a beautiful day in our super high-speed internet great customer service neighborhood. Like you, this is where we live. In fact, our company is employee-owned, so it's our goal to improve the quality of life for everyone in our community by delivering faster, more reliable internet, clearer, more feature-laden phone service, quality TV channels, all with the level of customer service you'd expect from people who are your neighbors. Eagle Communications, our community connected.